So with this video, it comes from Sean and Mandy's live stream yesterday, and they know Sam and Yaba as well as they can online, and these are the stories that they were telling about Sam, especially Sam and Yaba, from the drama community days. And whatever Sam is trying to do over here in girl world, it's a complete lie. It's not. She's misrepresenting herself. It's not at all who she is at all as a person at the core. So you guys listen to this and let me know what you think.
We had our backgrounds
Okay.
pulled. See, anyone could pull anyone's background. You pay for it. They send you. The first thing that they do say is you can't use the background, the information to do this type of stuff. Of course, Sam doesn't care about that because she's
so used to
yeah.
treating the legal system like her playground
right.
or whatever. It's really insane.
It's weird. But
Stitchy.
what we're seeing, I
Megan.
say again, is what we're seeing people that we knew the names, but we really didn't collaborate with them. And
If I were to imagine, it could have anything to do with anything. I should imagine that Samantha's probably blocked from half the businesses in South Bend because she's fucked them over at one time or another. 21 liens, 24 judgment,
random
crazy.
dentists here and there. But one of the
Banned from
videos that
Dental.
people are grabbing, and the common thread is Sam.
And I don't know, what I'm going into explain more is, this is what you have to understand. So this man Bob was paying Samantha's rent at her condo every single month because she never could make ends meet. Well, he got tired of paying the rent and said, this doesn't have any equity. It's not, if it's going to be every month anyway, you need a house. Okay, so he bought her a house.
Bought her a house, y'all.
Bought her a house outright, paid like $55,000, which I guess South Bend is poor because I've never heard of getting a house for $55,000.
$55K is $55K though, man.
So
that's instant equity that she had.
Got it, wired it to her. It was like, the one-time gift thing or whatever. She bought the house. When she sat down to close, listen to this. She had so many lien holders, and an OG that used to be in the community, MBW, she said she called
MBW.
to notify, I don't know who it was, but the end result, I really don't know. I don't know if it was the lien holders. I don't know what it was, but they came and garnished the sale of her house to the tune of, she sat down and got only a half or maybe even a third of the house, and what she sold it for. And she could, I don't know about that. She could, she couldn't back out, so she took a loss.
But to clarify, he gave her the house.
Gave her the furniture.
So it was all there when she tried to sell it later, is what you're talking about.
Right. So she got it and she had the title in hand. She probably was there a couple years, I don't know. And because Sam is Sam, she wanted cash. I don't know what she needed it for, but she was always in the need of cash. He had also bought her a minivan, a late model minivan that she in turn wrecked and totaled on purpose to get the $14,000 payout. And because I was on the phone with her, she needed to cash it that day. And that it was I can't remember if it was it was something that they didn't have that bank in her town. So we were trying to figure out how quickly she could get to one of these other ones to cash it. I don't know why she needed to cash this. I have no idea. I just know that we were
friendly with her. We had not been, there's just, the people that are still in that chat, the people that are left that are vouching
Clara,
for her.
the minivan.
I mean, we've been there. I mean, we believed her for a while.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I'll tell my story. I'll tell a story after you're done, but
okay. And the house, okay, so she sold the house. She took a huge loss on it. I don't know exactly what her what she had thought when she got the sale of the house, what she was going to do with the full money. I have no idea. But what ended up happening is she took far less. It was sold to an investor. So what she did is she told the investor, who was also the landlord, hey, how about I rent it from you? And the landlord was like, okay, I can wait in order to flip it or whatever. That's fine. Rented it out to her. Right during COVID time, She quit paying the rent on it, and it was ready. It was like going into the court for eviction. So Sam needed to get her next hustle, right? So she threw everything in her car, to include her dog, in a car that people were looking for to repossess, that she bought out of Buy Here, Pay Here, and drove to where, I can't remember the exact town where my friend was living at the time, where Arabia was living, but drove there. She stayed in a motel room for about 10 or 12 days trying to get Yaba to meet with her, and it was not successful. She wasn't agreeing to meet with her, so she had to basically go to Arabia's house, squat, say she was only going to be there because Arabia lived in the area a couple of days, and ended up being there for months, and it was miserable. Like, it was like Sam would be loud, you know,
And
she would be interrupting the
during
kids.
this whole time too, and we won't tell all the stories. This dog became a focus of the drama community. It ended up flying across the country to another YouTuber.
There was no stolen dog.
Yeah.
She left the dog.
Yeah, but that's a whole other story,
Right.
guys.
She left. I'm going to work it in just real quick. She left the dog at Arabia's. Arabia kept contacting her. What are we going to do with this dog? Because at this point, she had found herself a little apartment or whatever, because Arabia was like, you got to go. So she left. I know, right, Ricky? She left the dog with Arabia. And Arabia's like, come get the dog, come get the dog. And that's ultimately what happened, is Sam got stupid with Arabia through text, and that's what blew apart, like, that friendship. And
the thing with Arabia too.
So the dog was not stolen. Arabia had it because she left it.
But the whole reason how we found Arabia was I had a troll account. And I don't know how was tweeted it out.
Found
so
a way to tweet
a
her.
shot in the dark. I was like, "Hey, are you?" And I asked her. She said, "Yeah." And I was like, "You need to talk to these people."
And truth be told, I was so frustrated being modding us at that time.
At the time, yeah.
She had a rogue wrench and was blocking all of our people, and we could not, her or this, I'm a candy ass, the one that's like her partner. We could not get her out. Now we know how to do it. It started.
So, how did she get approved for an apartment? We don't know how when she left Arabia's place.
The same way as TT does.
Yeah,
She finds
yeah.
these
That's
private
right.
lenders.
Money talks. I was always a little bit like amazed. Like when I was with TT, she's got
And stayed in this hotel room for 10 or 12 days. She was within miles of Yaba, where Yaba was living. How creepy is that? She was texting with her. In the beginning, Yaba had no idea she wasn't in South Bend. Yaba had no idea she was just a couple of miles away. She watched where she went, right? She watched where she went so she could mirror that what she needed to do. Presley. So, yeah, that's that. So, the long and the short of it, because the other one we'll get into more, she got evicted from a house she once owned. Now tell me about that for a clickbait title.
So this hustler
had foreclosed
had
on
a home, needed money, said, I'm going to sell this. I mean, this middle-aged fella, and there was another question in there, what was she giving him? That's right. I mean, we don't know for sure what the give and take was. Buys a home. This guy, she pretty much bankrupts this guy. She buys a house, she's in it for however long, and then decides my next hustle is going to be to sell this house. When she tries to sell the house, there's so many liens on it, she doesn't get anything for it. So the person that bought the house, Sam's like, why don't I just rent it from you? So she rents the house, never pays the guy, and then when she gets evicted, she leaves her kids in that house.
She left her grown son with his baby. First, the electricity got turned off, and very quickly he realized, what is it, the wolf is at the door? Because people were coming. He had no idea the rent was behind. No clue. When she threw everything in that car and took off, she had no intention of coming back. Yeah, but she didn't have any intention of going back.
Nope.
You were plotted on. You were targeted, and you fell for it, but that's not altogether hard to believe considering what you're dealing with Sam.
Sandy Crotch says, do you think Yaba's just a scam too? I think that, so we know drama community knows Yaba as well. She used to collab a lot with Miss.
I had a personal friendship
she had a
with
friendship
her.
with her.
Not as close as Sam, but.
And you also had a personal friendship with Katie for a while too, like when we met. And Yaba, figured out how to grow her channel, and she broke away from us. A lot of us didn't really even know where she went. She stopped commenting in our streams. She parted ways with Katie, and then she started reviewing. She found her niche reviewing Chantel, Foodie Beauty. And she built a channel, and she didn't build hundreds of thousands of subs, but she had built a channel that was bigger than us, and she stuck to the script. She's horrible when she does drama. She's very thin-skinned and has got a short fuse, but she was off doing that. When Sam came back into her life, it came into her life and presented her to Yaba at her door. I love you. Yaba is hook, line, and sinker. So to answer your question, I don't think Yaba was a scam back then. She was truly just trying to build a channel. She was the father of her children was still there for some, for before they split up.
She saw a community that was growing.
And so she was, I mean, without all the drama that you see her in now, she was a pretty level-headed chick. So I think now, hook, line, and sinker, she is she's a scam now. I think that because Sam's there and Sam's probably telling her, I got this, baby, I got this. And Yaba is clearly smitten with Sam. Sam can do no wrong.
Remember when they broke up this last time online, like Yaba had posted they were going their separate ways, and remember, but this is before the tragedy, the death, and then they're like, oh, false alarm or whatever, and they pop back up, and there's talk of, was it a troll, was it whatever. I do not believe that it was a troll.
What I'm saying is just kind of conjecture. This is just kind of my swag at it. So we know a few things, and most recently, the last couple of days, even with like Randy and Wendy and that crowd, certain things that happened between them online that we have some information on that leads us to believe that, her whole life, Yaba's whole existence, to include her sex life, was there on the YouTube, was, I guess, sexting and carrying on with people on the internet. We know a few people that have said that, yeah. And so when Sam presented herself, physical presence at her door,
yes,
that was kind of like the perfect storm for Yaba. This was actually flesh, and somebody that, they're from YouTube and I know who they are, but they're here, and she walked through the door, and I think that's how it happened. I think
I've kind of like changed my thing about. I think that Sam has gotten into her head so bad that
Sam
Yaba's
said Kirsty.
scared.
Someone just put Kirsty in the chat. That's one of them.
That Yaba's gonna leave. I think that the truth is now that Yaba's afraid Sam's gonna leave her. And I think she's that far into her psyche that's what she's scared of.
So far, she does not believe how I'm a prime example that
she's not clear.
Yaba doesn't think that the only thing that she would have to do is part ways with Sam and just break up with her and stay broken up. And there's just waves of people that would come in support. Waves.
She'd get a lot of friends back.
That's what happened to me.
That she lost.
And when I left, when I got out of that city,
is when she posted those 2 times that they break up. And I really think that it probably wasn't like a conscious thing, but I think Yaba was desperately saying, okay, it's over. Help me out here.
Yeah,
help me out. Give me. But then Sam was able to get back into her head before she fully cleared the.
What Yaba was
like
doing.
12 hours, right?
The first time it happened, I was like, "Damn, they broke up." Well, that's lame. The second time that they broke up, it was a Saturday night because I was at work early Sunday morning. It dawned on me. This is where she's looking. She's looking at YouTube. She's looking at her membership. She's looking at her subscribers for her validation.
Yeah. For everything. The other day, I was listening to one of the streams. I was listening to it live. It was, I think, the damage control stream where they were on panel with each other. I've got the clip. But anyways, someone was smoking something because you hear the flint. You hear the flint, and then you hear the and then you
hear the exhale.
The lighter gets dropped on the old desk.
Let me go ahead.
So someone's smoking something, not a vape. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't say anything. I'm just saying before you judge other people, especially for what they smoke, if they smoke, what have you, you have to consider the fact that you do the same thing.
I think one of.
So you guys, you think this is crazy? You know how Sam likes to call people grifters. Listen to this story. Sam grifted her own friends from the old drama community that she likes to boast about. And actually, I was on Twitter. I've been prodding and asking questions. Most of them could not stand Sam in the drama community, but listen to this story.
When I was friends with Sam, and this was happening while I was in the condo, so it was probably 2018, maybe the end of 2017, when Sam had her friends, all of us, believing that there was a man outside their house trying to
Get her granddaughter.
get her granddaughter because it was the granddaughter was her son's, right? Her son's child.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
And that they were trying to come in and that there was a debt owed or whatever. And she had a whole slew of us that we were friends with
Giving her hotel money.
giving her hotel monies that to run from something that wasn't actually happening to her. And it wasn't just one or two people, it was a bunch of us. She will get that money and she will grift from people that she's down with. Lie to the people that she's down with, that she's friend with. And that's one of my stories. I don't know if you guys were ever around. Do you remember when Sam was broadcasting that, she had someone trying to break into her house and then she had to get out with her granddaughters? There's some
She
people
went and
that
stayed
might.
like one night in a hotel and then came back, or said that she stayed
Yeah,
one
and
night.
then all of a sudden it was over.
I
It was
have that
gone.
911 call that she got the copy of, and she emailed to me when we were still friends, because there was a split time when we became friends for a very short amount of time after the initial fallout. She sent me all the 911 calls, but they've already been played, not by me,
Yeah.
but they've already been played, so that's not news. Yeah, she showed shadows on her porch saying they were coming for her. See, and I didn't even know that she did a stream about it
Yeah.
that night. I had no